Howdy toddy everybody, this is Tommy with Colonel Rev Scale. Model is coming at you with a final reveal, somewhat, of my MPC Ferrari 250 LM Le Mans for the Chris Cortell Celebration of Light group build hosted by our friend Kenny May, Moonwalker Models. This is my kit that I built because this is the last one that Chris actually finished. So I wanted to dedicate this build to him and do the same kit in the same style that he did. So just like he did, I took the kit, I used the Tamiya TS16 Yellow, which turned out really well. I like these Tamiya rattle cans. I see what all the fuss is about when I hear people mention them. They really do lay down well. And then I just painted the rims like he did in the Model Air Chrome. And that's really it. I mean, it's box stock just like he did. The only thing he did is he 3D printed some of the wheels and tires as opposed to what I had to do using the kit, which now I can see why he did that. You just don't get the depth of the wire wheels that you do with the 3D print. So everything was going along pretty swimmingly. I got the paint laid down. I got the seams, sanded down nicely. Put down a coat of Tamiya primer and then colored it with the Tamiya Yellow. Really nice, smooth. Got the decals put in. There's only 4 of them, and that's it. They don't even have a decal for the Ferrari emblem on the hood. Was at that stage. Did some detail painting. I had detailed the little buckles that you use to hold the hood, some of the parts that, like the 2 filler caps on either side for the gas tanks. I actually took the kit parts and just bare metal foiled over those. But other than that, it's just detail painting and stuff. But then my oldest daughter graduated high school and we had a graduation party. I'm gonna stop this. And during the party, unfortunately, my godson, who is or has autism, he somehow got into the hobby room and decided he took a little Porsche 917 Hot Wheels I had hanging on the wall. He saw it, tore it out of the package, and somehow got open a small can of the Krylon Shortcuts chrome paint and decided he was going to not only paint the 917, but somehow managed to start working, supposedly, on my Ferrari here. So he was trying to put the wheels on, so he tore the front suspension out, which was fiddly to start with. And if I build this kit again, I would build it differently and just build the entire bottom and then paint it. But the parts are really fiddly, and so he just tore all those pieces out, which it took me a couple of hours to get the front suspension alone, because it has the upper and lower A-arms, the spindle with the brake and the rotor, and then you attach that and then you try to get the wheels on. I had to do the back first and get the wheels and have everything set to where it looks like it has the right stance, where the tires aren't splayed or whatever, because you got no reference points. So, it's the old kit from MPC, and we all know what MPC stands for. And so I was just devastated. And not to mention, as you can see, there's a little bit of silver paint on this can. He actually got a hold of this can too. And how he was able at 4.5 to get the caps off, which sometimes it's hard for me to get them off. He sprayed on a table, and I was able to save the table, get the paint off of it. Porsche 917 wasn't so lucky, couldn't get most of the paint off it without taking all the decals off, so it kind of ruined it. But that's fine. So I got the car. I was able to get some thinner and carefully get little fingerprints of paint all over it, but he dropped it a couple of times, so there's little chips all in it. And because I didn't have other decals, I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna finish it, put it back together. It took me a while to get the front end back, and it's still not very good. Whether it was super glue, that Plastibond, real strong stuff, even some of that wouldn't hold. And it did not want to go together, the bottom and the top halves. It took forever to try to get that to actually stay. And you can still see back here, you can still see gaps. But it's finished. The wheels actually are just sitting on there because I need to go back because he got paint on them and he scratched them, and it got, you know, whatever he was doing and using, it just messed the tires up, which is the Tamiya rubber black. So I need to redo the tires again. The kit is not the best. Obviously, it's an MPC. We know what that means again. It's not too terribly detailed. The outside's okay. The inside is pretty sparse. I did bare metal foil the windshield wiper blade. These headlight covers suck. They are not the right shape. Well, even if you sanded them, I don't know if you could get them to sit in there properly. So they're glued on with some of the jewelry glue, which is basically white glue. And then I think the only thing I didn't do is paint the side markers on either side. But it's there, and I've actually liked this model. I like this this style of Ferrari, this 250 LM. It's a small little car. It was successful. It did win Le Mans 65 as a NART, North American Racing Team entry, much to the dismay of Team Ferrari, because they wanted to get their own cars, of course, to finish. And that was the last Ferrari to actually win Le Mans in 1965. So I do have a 1/24 scale, because this is 1/32 scale, 1/24 scale of the 250 LM, which looks to be a pretty good kit. I can't remember the brand of it, but it looked to be pretty good, pretty detailed. So at some point in the future, I've kind of drifted toward a lot of these racing cars. So getting to rambling now. So again, everybody, we know we miss Chris. It's been a couple of months, seems like, since he passed. And luckily, Kenny May, our friend who was sponsoring this group build, he actually yesterday started a new channel, and I'll put a link to this in my description, where Chris's channel disappeared for whatever reason. And so luckily Kenny has most all of his videos and some from his previous channel. So he is going to take time. He started to post some of them this morning, some of the builds, and he's going to progressively get those uploaded so that we'll have something to go back and look at. I know he taught me a lot, so it's always good to go back and look at some of his videos. And if you haven't already, I'll put a link to the kind of the store, I guess, like a website that his brother Mike has created to sell some of his stash. And it's a work in progress, so you just kind of follow the instructions. They're pretty simple. And then get those kits from him. It all goes to his wife Renee and the family. So if you can do that, it'd be great if everybody in the community bought at least one or two. And then at some point, I think he's going to sell some of his built kits. So we'll see when that happens. And I think he's still uploading some of the categories as well. So just check that out. I'll put the links in the description as well. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. We're about to go on vacation. I'll be back toward the end of June. And we'll get building. I got a lot of projects in the works, a lot of things to finish. So we'll see what's happening then. So hope everybody has a good summer, and we'll chat with you later. As always, hotty toddy, and God bless.